It's showtime.
Good morning.
That's right. Thanks for waking up the chase. I am your host. I had a little Borat tinge to that. Welcome to the chase.
Nice to meet you.
Good morning and welcome to Chase. I'm your host, Charlie Castro, alongside my co-host, David Yarger.
My name is David Yarger.
I mean, your name sure is David. And my name Borat. We've got a couple other cats in the room there. Dave Stevens on the ones and twos, and then, of course, Meerkat is here as well. Social media guru?
The guru of social media.
Look at him, he's smirking over there.
The whiz.
Look at that mustache. Mustache Mountain over there. That's what we're gonna call him. Anyways, we got a great show for you on Hump Day. Nice middle of the week show here for you. Here's what we got lined up. Another Steph Curry NBA Finals game used jersey goes for big guap at the auction. Also, members of Women in the Hobby will join us to discuss the group and what they'll be doing for the National. And, of course, another box rip giveaway. This time, it's going to be 2022 Topps Pristine Baseball, a new release coming today.
Pristine.
Let's check Pristine. Let's check in with the Twitch chat and obviously say good morning to everybody. Mommy Yargs.
Good morning. As always, every morning.
Good morning.
B Burns, 22.
B Burns. What
Wow.
up? What's good? Wahoos.
Wahoos.
Good morning, friend. How you doing? Thanks for putting the socials in the chat there. Obviously, don't forget to be following us across all the social media platforms.
Every single one of them.
Don't forget a one.
Not a one.
So it's been a couple days, but if you remember, David and I talked about how he and I, for the third time in how many weeks?
Third week? I don't know.
It really felt like
It was
that way.
I think third time in like 6 weeks, something like that.
And I think we explained to you guys on Monday, too, that it's like 20 teams in this league, right? Softball league. Somehow David and I, have played 3 times against each other in a span of 6 to 7 weeks.
Makes zero sense.
Nothing, but you want to talk about Monday?
Sure, why not?
No, I mean...
So Team David won 11-6.
Team David won 11-6.
But the score was not indicative of the type of game it was. Troy's team played some phenomenal defense, including Troy himself. Troy, after having a tough game the last time we played, notched 3 hits, hit the crap out of the ball, I will say. Hit hard line drives, made some pretty nice plays out in the outfield. He still walked away with a dub. Wasn't my best showing. I saved my best hit for last, I will say. But
which was right in front of me. I probably could have ran up on it and caught it, but I just let it drop in front of me and take a one.
We all went in the dugout, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, Troy probably could have caught that.
Probably.
Because it was on a line, and the way the wind was, everything just kept staying up. And I'm like, I kept looking at it. I'm like, Troy's going to run in and catch that. And
I almost thought about
it.
it.
Oh, man.
I was like running, and then I was like, I don't know. I just let it drop. But, yeah, definitely way better night at the plate for me. That felt good. Like a couple of those hits, like it was the sweet spot of the bat for sure.
Yep.
Like it felt like when I hit it, it felt like nothing.
You did circle the bases via an air, but
I did.
But hey,
via an air, but still counts in my.
Exactly.
I still crossed the plate in my mind. It still counts.
Yep.
But yeah, it was better to. I think I finally got the monkey off the back, and I can hit better.
Yes, and you looked great. And I played like crap, so.
What a co-host. You did not play. Listen, you did not. I almost turned a double play to end the game, so give yourself a little more credit than you are right now.
Yeah, you didn't almost turn a double play and then realize the ball was dropped while you were flipping your glove in the air.
I didn't. And look back to the chat again here. Wahoo is reminding everybody the 2022 Industry Summit Awards voting is open. There you can click on the link for the Survey Monkey, where Hit Parade, Cards Matter, and DACW Live are up for the awards. So make sure you check that out. Vote, please. We really appreciate that.
Speaking of rewards, I think we need to feel rewarded.
Oh, we do. So, great segue.
Yes. So, you know what? Quote of the day. You cannot have a positive life and a negative mind. Joyce Meyer. This one hit home today.
Thanks, Joyce. Yeah, you had a rocky morning.
It was a rough morning. Waking up, seeing that the Yankees lost 4-3. Last leg of
There
a
you
parlay.
go.
Last leg of two parlays. Yeah, Yankees -1.5. Go to sleep. They're up 3-0. Wake up. They lose 4-3. Story of my life. Whatever. And then, just some other negotiable issues that I had this morning.
But man, as a Red Sox fan, do I love saying this. So brace your ears, maybe turn down the volume a little bit, but the Yankees getting beat by the Reds in the ninth, 4-3. The Yankees lose. Never fails to entertain me.
Yes, that's my favorite video of all time on Twitter.
It has to be.
The
Yankees lose. So speaking of rewards, if you remember, on Monday we opened up some UFC Select as our box rib giveaway for the day. So now we have Meerkat here to give us our winner, Mr. Meerkat.
What's up, fellas? So we have our winner taking home that UFC Select box. We had some nice autos there, nice color, great box overall. It is going to Jordan Parks 17. And
oh my goodness.
He was playing both sides of the fence. He said Team Troy now during the show. He was rooting for you for the rip, but Team David later. He knows where the real powerhouse on the field is there. So shout out to Jordan Parks 17.
Look at you with that poop eating grin on your face while you stared at me and said that.
That's because Jordan Parks 17 is on Team David.
Let me tell you something, Jordan Parks. I know you. I'll find you, pal. Don't worry. But I'll give you a hug. That's what I mean. I'll find you and I'll give you a hug.
I almost want to do the first live phone call from the set.
Do you think he would answer?
He might. He might.
Call him.
I don't know. Should we call him?
Just tell him to watch his mouth. Call him.
Here, let's try it out. Here.
Wahoo's giving a congrats to Jordan. Lee C, first time chat. Congrats, Jordan. Live, first time, long time caller. Give him a call. Just tell him to be careful. I feel like we're on a radio show and we're giving.
Hey, Jordan, watch your mouth. You're on the air, okay?
Hello?
Jordan.
Yep.
Hey, you're on the air, so just watch what you say, okay? Just want to say you won our giveaway for the UFC cards that we pulled the other day.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sick.
Yes, that was awesome. Meerkat just announced your name to everybody, so congratulations.
Shout out Bearcat.
Yes, shout out Meerkat.
Shout out Meerkat, indeed.
But just wanted to let you know, and also you're now the first live phone call that we've done on the show.
Well, I'm glad to be.
Well, I'm glad.
Shout out to the place.
Yes, I'm glad you won, and thank you for being a proud member of Team David, and also a little bit member of Team Troy.
Oh yeah, I mean Troy got one solid hit. I'll give it to him.
He had three, but
One?
he had three, but
I'll give him the one solid.
okay. Well, we got a long show to go, so I
All
just
right,
wanna say
yeah, that's it.
congratulations.
Thank you.
All right,
Good luck,
bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.
What a guy. Love that Jordan guy. We should definitely do live phone calls more often. We should just start calling people on our phones. I'll call my mom next week. How about that? What, honey? What? I'm getting ready to go to work. That's probably what I'll get.
Shout out Lee _C55. I think that's my buddy Caleb. New member, first time here.
Welcome, Caleb.
aboard.
Appreciate it. All right, why don't we get on to what's going on around the hobby? You're up first.
Absolutely. All right. So if you recall earlier this month, Troy mentioned earlier as well, Steph Curry's Game 1 used jersey from this year's NBA Finals sold for more than $200,000. That's a lot of bones right there on NBA auctions. Well, his game used jersey from Game 3 of the Finals closed last Friday at more than $386,000. The Warriors ended up losing that game as well as Game 1 to the Celtics in the TD Garden, but Curry, the MVP of the Finals, put up a game-high 31 points. Pretty unreal to get that much for a jersey. Both jerseys in losing efforts, too.
Exactly what I was going to say, honestly. Like, I don't think there's much more to say. That is exactly what I was going to say, though.
Yeah.
2 in a losing effort, big dollars. I mean, that just shows the stardom of Steph Curry.
I wonder what the Game 6 one would go for.
Well, it might be up there still. So this is, you're seeing on the screen, this is the Game 3 jersey. But games, they've been kind of rolling them out slowly but surely, I feel like. I've seen some warm-up jackets actually for sale too. So we'll have to check. We'll have to keep an eye on some of the game-worn stuff and game-used stuff. There you go. You see the tag there. So now, straying away from sports for just a minute, I want to mention another piece up for auction. George Clooney's infamous screen-worn costume from the 1997 Batman and Robin movie is currently listed on Heritage Auctions website. The current bid is $40,000, and it closes on July 23rd. 23rd. Heritage says the cowl and the cape are both marked GC for George Clooney and originally came from the Warner Brothers archives. And I don't know about you. I know you are a 95 baby.
Yes.
So you might be a little too young for this, but everybody hates on this movie. Honestly, I don't know why. But I wore it out. I had the VHS, and I'll tell you right now, I watch that all the time. I mean, granted, it does have Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. And
Right.
he's kind of like, it is cold here. It is very cold, Mr. Freeze. You know, that, yes, I was going to bring that up next, Hobo. But another reason why this is such an infamous costume, and Dave put me onto this, I didn't realize it. Hobo Fuss says, Nipples Batman. Because apparently this was
goodness.
Yeah, because apparently in the series of movies, the original ones at least, like Val Kilmer, Michael Keaton, the George Clooney one, for whatever reason, the costume had the nipples.
Got the gem cutters in there, eh?
Allegedly. Speaking of gem cutters, of course, you know, Mr. Freeze. It makes sense why George Clooney was like that if he's battling Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, too. Cannot forget that.
Not bad. So, some more national news now. Whatnot and Ripping Wax are partnering to bring a 5,500 square foot case break pavilion experience to the show in Atlantic City, which we will be at, by the way. Whatnot says it will be the largest open floor booth space at this year's National. Pretty impressive. So, can't wait to see that.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look. I mean, I'm assuming it'll be hard to miss.
Yes, very large. Very large.
Very big, but we will also be there, like David had said, with a large booth. There's a lot of people from the company going. Should be a lot of fun. And obviously, we will be in the Breakers Pavilion with Steve, and Pete will be at the booth breaking with us, too. So we'll have our fair share of wax ripping.
Live every day.
Looking forward to it. So an interesting video that I came across is Talon Sports Cards revealing original prototype promo cards of Michael Jordan from the 1991-1992 Upper Deck. Now, Talon founder Brian Friedman says they were originally developed to be given out as promos to promote the product prior to the release, and only a handful were given out to the public. According to Friedman, some of these promos can be found on eBay, with a PSA 10 selling for about $400. He says that's roughly 4 times more than the normal production run card. They were the first test batch of promo cards ever printed, and former Upper Deck VP Tony Liacono says he's going to be releasing these to the public through card art, giveaways, and auctions very soon.
Love hearing me a good MJ card story. We've been talking about him a lot between starting lineup and the
84,
card.
the star cards. Exactly. He's one of those people that it's great. It's never a bad time to talk about MJ. And he always works his way back into the hobby. Always.
So, a little bit of Pokemon news. I know we don't talk about it a lot, but had to get it in here. Something I found interesting. In late June, the Pokemon Company disclosed its print run totals from the period between March 2021 and March 2022. The numbers were staggering. More than 9 billion Pokemon cards were printed, more than double the 3.7 billion the company printed from March 2020 to March 2021. To date, the Pokemon Company's average yearly print run is about 1 billion cards. About 43.2 billion Pokemon cards have been printed all time. This massive print run can be understood as the Pokemon Company's response to the incredible demand for its products. Last year, The company announced that it would increase print runs of impacted products at maximum capacity because some fans are experiencing difficulties purchasing certain Pokemon products. The rapid increase in supply could, in theory, cause prices for singles to come down from the large heights that Pokemon cards enjoyed in 2021. With this print run info starting to hit mainstream awareness, keep an eye on the Pokemon market in the coming months, especially as the holidays approach. Now, I know my man Meerkat, he gave us some news about one of the Pauls getting a big Pokemon card. Can you believe the numbers of just prints in just 1 year?
It's absolutely crazy, but I think it's encouraging. It's a good thing to see. I am a Pokemon collector, and this is something that will water down the market to a certain extent, but Pokemon said they hated people not being able to get cards. You saw the card surge, go absolutely crazy a year or 2 years ago. People, you couldn't find Pokemon cards anywhere. Now they're in stock most places. Where sports cards will be selling out, you can still find Pokemon cards. They're reprinting sets. Does it water it down? 100%. But those chase cards are still there. The desirability is still there. The vintage isn't being, recreated. And so it's good to see them making sure everybody can get Pokemon cards. Pokemon's one of those things that since it's released, it's been consistent. It's stayed popular. Sports have fluctuated in the hobby, but Pokemon cards have been somewhat consistent, always rising. And with things like, the game on Nintendo Switch releasing last year, the new Penultimate series, I believe, for, with Ash Ketchum and Pikachu releasing, a lot of things going into it. Pokemon, still the king. Shout out to them for making sure everybody gets their cards.
Yeah. And real quick before, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, because I felt bad. But Hobo Fuzz says he wanted to know if you had heard that they're actually turning the Logan Paul card into an NFT.
Yeah, so I see they're selling off shares of that card. They're kind of breaking it up, but you can buy a percentage of it, I believe, or share into it like a stock. It's a cool idea, definitely. The card's got a lot of fame behind it now. It should increase in value as the most expensive Pokemon card of all time already.
And I just got to point out, because I'm not huge into Pokemon, but I found this very interesting with all the stats and everything. I feel like a few years back when Pokemon Go came out, people that weren't even into Pokemon started kind of diving into the Pokemon realm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pokemon Go was massively popular. People are still playing it. I believe they just celebrated their 6-year anniversary last week. And what did Pokemon do? They released a Pokemon Go card set. It's the newest set they released, available on the DA Card World website. But it's a fun set featuring a lot of the Pokemon you see in the game, certain alternate arts like the Mewtwo in New York City. That was the original promo for Pokemon Go when it released. So they're playing into it, and that's one of those contributing factors. Pokemon knows what they're doing. They keep it relevant no matter what. I'm a 26-year-old, and I'm still invested in Ash Ketchum.
Shout out our man Meerkat.
He'll never not be. Thanks for that, Meerkat. Appreciate your insight. Real quick on the chat before we get into the last story on around the hobby. Sensei Yota says the Batman movie brings back old memories for him. Wahoo says Mr. Freeze is an all-time comic character, so big Batman and Robin fan. And they didn't hate it. It was just the outfit choices is what Hobo Fuzz was saying. Jay-Z, good morning to you, of course. Thanks for joining us again. And Higgy Bear says, not a Pokemon collector here, but Pokemon Go gave me something to do outside during the pandemic. Yeah, so like you were saying.
Yeah, and also shout out to Lee_C55 for the subscription. Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much. That'll help. We encourage subscribers here, obviously, on the chase, but not only here on the DACW Live Lounge as well.
Yes.
Now, our last story in Around the Hobby, last but certainly not least, we want to congratulate the Chase alumni, Andy Broome.
Mr. Broome.
Congratulations to Andy Broome. They are in order for him being promoted to Vice President of CSG. Now, CCG made the announcement via Twitter on Monday. Prior to the promotion, Broome served as CSG's, oh my goodness, served as CSG's senior grading finalizer.
Yeah, and he was a cool interview because he was very educated. You could tell he had been in the card business for a while and knew what he was talking about. I got a ton of information from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very much a wealth of knowledge.
And to everybody local to Buffalo, the Dave and Adams Card Show on July 17th, CSG will be there taking submissions, and Andy Broome himself will be there in person answering questions live from, I believe, 11 to 12 the day of the card show, or 12 to 1. So take advantage of that if you're local to the area.
Thanks so much, Meerkat. Appreciate that. All right, we're going to get into our interview segment now. So let's take a look at that. All right, we have a few very, very special guests joining us this morning, David.
We do indeed.
I've been looking forward to this one. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now, so I'm glad it's finally coming to fruition. We have some members of the group Women in the Hobby joining us right now. Let's bring them in, please. Julie Develin, Tai Fauci, and Sara Layton. Ladies, good morning. How are you?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I like that. That was like a nice little roll call there, almost across the board. Good morning. Good morning.
We planned it. We planned it that way.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling you guys had a nice little huddle probably before we got into this. We're gonna say something, David? I thought you were gonna say something. No? Okay. All right. Well, I want to get right into it if you don't mind, because I know you guys are all very busy and obviously day-to-day roles, but also what's to come. I want to do a little roundtable discussion with you guys, and I first want to ask, how did y'all get introduced to the hobby, each of you?
Who's going to start? Who wants to go first?
Sara gets to go first because you just spoke first.
There you go.
Okay. So my introduction is a lot different than I'm sure Julie and Ty's. My dad did collect when I was younger, but I was allowed to look but don't touch. So I never opened packs or did any of the fun stuff that people did as kids. So I didn't exactly enjoy this hobby until recently. We started Layton Sports Cards in 2012, and that's when I really started to learn about the hobby and how much fun and addicting it is. And I only started collecting back in 2020.
Awesome.
All right, who's next?
Hi.
Julie.
All right, I'll go. Okay. So I've been collecting. It's sort of like a lot of folks have the same story. When you were younger, you were collecting, 12, 13 years old, and I thought it was going to pay for my college. Little did I know that's not the case. I collected off and on, throughout my teenage years. And then I stopped for a little while when I went to college because I had no money, basically. But then I started up again. It was the Steven Strasburg hype that got me back into the hobby big time. And it has been my friendship with Sara that has really kept me and gotten me into the hobby even bigger time. So it's a huge part of my life and one that I absolutely love.
Oh, I guess I have to go now.
Yeah.
I'm putting you up to
So
it.
I had a very opposite experience, but also with my dad when I was a kid. He was like a huge fan of the Brooklyn Dodgers, so we would go to a lot of shows because like all the older guys would be there signing. National when it was still here in California, in Anaheim. So I collected a lot as a kid and a lot of baseball and the Knicks. And then I got back into collecting through breaking with Layton and then Mojo and like the OG breakers.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting into the industry and back into the industry in 16 or like into the industry as like a professional. So
Very nice.
Awesome. And now we kind of
easy.
Yeah. We kind of heard, how you guys got into it. But what is your favorite thing about this hobby right now?
My favorite thing is the friendships and relationships that I've formed through the hobby. And I know that might sound cliche, but it couldn't
So
be.
cliche.
Yeah, I know, but it's so true.
It's beautiful though.
It is. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know, in a world that's so divided, sometimes it feels that way. You know, it's always nice to have something that can bring so many people together. And you know, I've made my best friends through this hobby, and yeah, I mean, that's my favorite part for sure.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, Julie and I have known each other since 2012, and we text daily. You know, and she's one of my best friends. And Ty too. Ty and I are both so busy, so we text sort of randomly throughout the weeks. But I mean, without having both of them really in my life, and if I would never would have met either one of them without this hobby, and both of them play such a big part in who I am and what I do every day. So I agree. It's all about the community.
Yeah,
That's what they said.
Yeah, basically what they said. Yeah, what they said.
Tiny, I was gonna be like, preserving tiny pieces of cardboard. It's so trivial in comparison. So, being stewards of history or whatever. Wow. Okay. I'll self-bleep. Sorry. Curse here. I apologize. I don't know. Is it too early?
Sorry, we might be able to
down the amount of times I curse.
We might be able to sneak one in on a morning show. It's fine, or we'll just bleep it. I like it. It's all right. We need raw interview.
The really bad ones.
You're actually not the first person to swear on the show.
That's true. You're now the second person to swear on the show. That's good. We're starting to list, but I don't know. The way you guys put it, I'm starting to think you guys might want to trade in the sports cards for Hallmark cards. You guys, that was really well said.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Jesus. All right. I'm leaving. That was on the level of that joke was just so good.
Listen, all the dad jokes aren't going to land, okay? I know that. It's all trial and error. They're not all going to land.
You know what my mom says? My dad was like the worst joke teller in the world. God bless him. But is it a joke if nobody laughs? No, it's just something stupid you said. Like, it's fine, but that's just what it is. It's not.
That's a good clip that. That is quite the quote right there. Clip that. I like that. All right.
Am I insulting our host, you guys? I'm so sorry. That was so bad.
You guys act like they don't do that behind the scenes every day here. I get insulted every day verbally. So hey, what's on camera? You know, what's the difference?
Fine.
I want to
Not
know.
your fault.
No, it's hey. I like it. I like the banter. Okay, this is fun to me. So I want to know though, what are some of the players, or who are some of the players, or whoever you guys collect, who are near and dear to your heart and like your personal collections? Who are you guys going after?
For me, it's Roy Halladay. He was my PC when he first became a Philly. I'm a huge Phillies fan. Of course, he tragically passed away, but I still collect him. And I really enjoy collecting. Hopefully I don't get hate for this. Bryce Harper, he's a Philly. I love him too.
Who can hate that? That's amazing.
A lot of people don't like Bryce Harper, and
they didn't get to
reason him. But I know, and the reason they don't like him is because they remember him when he was really young as a national and how he was cocky and all that. He's really grown up a lot. And I think that he's humbled himself, and he does a lot of good things for the community. And regardless, that's who I enjoy collecting. I've started collecting some of the bigger names as my collecting habits have changed a little bit. The Mahomes, the Bradys, etc. Joe Flacco was another one who I used to PC.
The elite quarterback.
My collection has a lot of elite in it. Mine's real specific. I don't have a ton of cards in my collection. I have a lot of Joel Embiid, Phillies players. I have Bryce Harper. Somehow I've been building a really big collection of Star Wars. Not somehow, I know how it happened, but I'm building a huge collection of Star Wars cards. But I just realized that I actually have currently 2 and one on the way, Carrie Fisher autos. So, which is not a bad auto to have. Serena Williams I have as well. That's my collection.
Love that.
No Ben Simmons.
Oh, sore subject. store.
That was a brick.
Why?
No one hates Ben.
I was
Simmons
having
more
a
than
good
this
date
girl.
today.
Sarah's hate of Ben Simmons is hilarious.
So deep. So deep.
I feel like we could do a whole other interview on that. Just your hate of Ben Simmons alone.
We could.
We could.
What about you, Ty?
I'm like a diehard Knicks fan since I was a kid. So I collect the Knicks, specifically like more older stuff now. Like Walt Frazier, Ewing. I have a pretty big Marbury collection.
That's
Charles
cool.
Oakley. And then I collect a lot of non-sport, Harry Potter. My business partner just got me a very cool Robert Pattinson as Cedric Diggory auto for my PC. So,
That's cool.
Yeah.
I would want that.
Very nice. Yeah, see, I like that. I could appreciate the Starbury too. I think he doesn't get enough love.
But I realized accidentally I'm collecting like a lot of like dames and serfs, like people who've been knighted or like by the queen, because like I was like, oh, Lewis Hamilton. I was like, oh, Ian McKellen. Oh, Judi Dench. Oh, Maggie Smith. All these autos I'm collecting. I'm like, oh, well, they're all like.
Yeah, so it just kind of organically
I'm
rolled
working
into
on my
stuff.
dame collection, and I don't mean Lillard, so.
I love that. I love it.
I used to be a big Starbury from Stephen Barry's. Remember
Oh,
that?
absolutely. We all had the gear.
That was the collection back when I was in like 4th grade.
Yeah.
But so my next question: what is something you think the hobby can improve on?
Boy, that's a loaded question. You guys really want to get in? No, I'm just kidding. Listen,
We're gonna leave that to Julie because Julie is very PC on things about this.
Yeah, Julie, go ahead.
I think the hobby has come a long way. However, it still has a long way to go. I think we're seeing more and more when we talk about diversity. I think that is clearly something the hobby can improve on. When you think about sports card collectors, the first thing that generally, again, we don't like to stereotype, but I will, generally pops into your mind are white males, are sport card collectors. And, what I think is becoming abundantly clear and really, really just really, really glaring is that there are many, many different kinds of people, ages of people, et cetera, of collectors. And there are many, many different kinds of collectors. And I think it's important for us as a hobby to recognize, when we say, what can the hobby do better? There is no one right way of collecting. There is no one right way. Some people collect sets. Some people collect players. Some people collect cards that have a certain number on them. Some people collect, you name it. I mean, there's something for everyone in the hobby. And I think that we as a whole need to take a more inclusive view of that. I think there's a lot of judgment that goes on. I certainly don't want to attack anyone or anything like that, but we live in a world. When I say we as people live in a world, we live in our own bubble, right? We surround ourselves generally with like-minded people. We have to realize that there are more people out there than just us, more people with different opinions, et cetera. And that is true in the hobby. And I think that kindness and respect go a long, long way. I'm seeing more of it as time goes on. But I think that it's a continual process. I'll get off my soapbox.
No, I mean,
Julie with the mic drop.
yeah, absolute mic drop right there. Listen, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to step up and say it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I was fortunate enough, thanks to Sara, to get the opportunity to speak on diversity in the hobby at the Topps Industry Conference several months ago, and I feel like that was an opportunity for the conversation to be started in a in a big way. It was a room full of gentlemen, right? It was a room full of men, basically. And I was not sure how it was going to be received. Neither was Sara. Neither was Tai.
It was generally a room full of white men.
Yeah, it was.
On it. It was like maybe a handful of women and like maybe 3 people of color.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
And it was glaringly obvious that there was a big lack of diversity. And, after the speech, I had folks come up to me that I never would have thought would have come up to me and thank me for starting the conversation, ask how they could get involved, and ask what they can do to further the cause. And, I know that a lot of people just see this hobby as that, right? Just something to do, a hobby. But for many people, it's a lot deeper than that. The relationships are a thing. The relationships really do make this hobby. And we'll see that at the National as well.
Great. Yeah. That's awesome.
No, I completely agree with what Julie said is, the relationships really is what make, this hobby so special.
Oh, 100%. And that's the thing. It does. It needs to start there. And, there needs to, more conversations need to be had, people.
I completely agree.
Because that's what I mean. It's like collecting, it's like a family.
Really?
You know what I mean? It's a community. So, and you see all kinds of people in your community. So I want to know, though, the 3 of you, how did you guys get together? How did all of you meet and how did this come about?
Is Sara under me for everybody? No. Where is Sara? Where is she?
She's to the side of you on ours.
Under me. No, she's somewhere. I'm pointing to her for everybody. For me, she's right here. So I don't. Whatever.
Are you voguing? That looks like you were voguing right there.
Feels like you're voguing. Yeah. Strike a pose. Yeah.
I'm just trying to point.
Yeah.
I'm covering my bases for the stream of where Sara, what box she's in. Is she above me? I don't know. Where is she?
We have it on the view that whoever's talking will be seen. So when people see it.
Damn it. So that was just like, now you guys know all my great dance moves.
Well, now you can point up.
Now you guys know all, now this,
Sara
won a dance contest.
Sara is the reason that I know Tai. And, Sara and I, as she mentioned, have been friends for many, many years.
Yeah, Julie and I actually met through a mutual person in 2012 at the Baltimore National. And then the following year, it was in Chicago. And she had made a Twitter post saying that she wanted to go to a Cubs game. And was anybody going to a Cubs game? So we were planning to go. So I said, hey, I'll grab you a ticket. Let's go. And we went to the Cubs game together. And now here we are, however many years later, 10 years later. Tai, I was thinking about this. I think the first time that I officially met you was at the Upper Deck Conference in Orlando. You actually walked up and you were talking to Brad, Breaking Brad.
He's so
and
shy.
Oh yeah, he socially does not want to talk to anybody. And you walked up to him. He was like sitting by himself in the corner, and you walked up to him. And I said to Rich, I'm like, "Who's that?" Because immediately I'm like, "Oh no, Brad's probably like freaking out. Someone's speaking to him." And Rich was like, "Oh, that's Tai." He was like, "Oh, okay." So I don't remember what year that was, but that was when we met.
It was like 16 or 17, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
So you guys go back a little bit though.
We do.
There you go.
We do.
So my next question here is, for those who don't know, what is Women in the Hobby?
It's a cool logo that's behind us. Very cool logo.
I know.
Yeah.
Behind us. Yeah. I'm taking
this. Yeah, you take this because you're the one, you approached me about it. So.
What was it at the National? I can't even remember.
It was at the National, 2019.
It was at the National 19 in Chicago. And we were together. I don't know if we were at a party. I think we were at a party. And we were just kind of like spitballing, like, I mean, look, not to say this, but like gender is like a really good way to network, especially if you're a minority. And we deal with a lot of stuff that like other people in this hobby don't have to deal with. And it was pretty, I mean, I'm not saying it's not toxic now, but the atmosphere at the time, and it's getting, as the younger generation comes up, I feel like this hobby is getting less and less toxic because younger people are more open-minded than like the old guard, if you will. So, you know, we talked about it and we're like, well, let's start a group for women in the hobby. There's a lot of women in manufacturing. There's some women in shops. There's a lot of female collectors who collect with both us at Bullpen and at Layton because we created environments that are welcoming to that. Whereas like those women may not feel welcome elsewhere. And I'll give a backstory about like a little bit how I got into the business and like why I'm part of Bullpen specifically. And to that end, so we started the group. We're like, let's start a Facebook group, and we started the group. Now we have over 300 people, women in the group. 330. So we're chugging along with it, and we got to promote it at the National last year when it came back. And, you know, this year we have a booth and we have main stage time, and we have a lot of different parties and networking events for women in the hobby. So, you know, it's kind of grown from there, just grown from let's create this community for ourselves that I think we both wanted and needed, not just for networking, but just for like to talk about cards in a safe space. Cause you know, we're in a time where we're like walking up the tables at the National and like people are not taking us seriously because we're women. Like it was 2019. There you go. That's two. That's two. It was 2019, and this is like something that we're still dealing with. And I'll give a little bit of a backstory of why I got. So I love collecting, and I was like breaking with like people who like Layton, who I was very comfortable with. We're very inclusive and welcoming people. And at the time, my business partner now, Mitch, was looking to take on a partner, and he was like negotiating with this guy. I'm like, this is terrible. Like, we should be partners.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be too hands-on. I was like,
how'd that work out?
Money. I'm going to give you like the tools you need to like grow, and I'm going to get out of the way. Well, now I work for us full time. So that's
I was going to say, you did not get out of the way.
I had a very successful career, and now I'm like all in cards, and I have a very successful career still, but just totally different. So I'm not knocking our industry. It's phenomenal. Gosh darn it. That's 3. I'm still talking. Can someone just make me go away now? Anyway, oh, by the way, Mitch was the only one in LA who treated me the same out of all the other store owners, who had no sense of misogyny, who was like a genuinely good person. And I said, the whole old guard, I'm calling you out, every single other store in LA that was a store then in 2016. You're all a bunch of there's some, I will not name names, but let me tell you, there's not another store in LA that it still exists. Some are big, where the owners made me feel comfortable or like make me feel comfortable to this day. Like, also, if you're like, women in the hobby is great and you can't name one, like, that's a problem. We should have more women in the hobby, but I can't tell you any of their names. I don't know. It's just, we're still in this place. The hobby is still super toxic in a lot of areas, and it's gross. But anyway, that's why I ended up becoming partners with Mitch, because he was a good human.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
love that.
Yeah, and just to be clear too, you know, women in the hobby is not meant to be exclusive, right? We need men to be advocates for us. You know, we need people like Mitch, people like Rich, people like or businesses like Bullpen and Layton, you know, that monitor their chat rooms and make sure that there's not offensive language, and you know, they have blockers on certain words, etc. You know, this is something that still occurs. And you know, I mentioned earlier folks living in a bubble, you know, and you know, we do too sometimes. I'm not just excluding myself from that, but if you're listening to this and saying, well, why does this group need to exist? All I'll tell you is that every time, I would say 9 out of 10 times we allow someone into our group, they request it, they will put a post thanking us for creating the group, thanking us for providing a space where they can come and feel like they can ask questions. You know, that's the other thing. The hobby is constantly evolving, and there are a lot of questions that women and men have. And I think that sometimes we're not quite as confident asking those questions for fear of being seen as being uneducated or, you know, what are you doing in the hobby? The hobby is a place for everyone. And that's really, I think, something that, that we want to showcase here. And, you know, with Sara and Tai creating this space for everyone, it's been incredible. We have a really, really strong core group of collectors who are very dedicated to this cause. And, you know, again, also including men as well, including other genders as well, right? I mean, we don't have to keep this to men and women. And that's a whole other conversation. But you know, the fact of the matter is, this is still something that happens. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not happening. And we have receipts. That's all I'll say.
Bang, coming with the receipts. Listen.
We do have receipts. I save every, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but every time I see a message that gets posted, we have one breaker who's a woman. She's breaking, you know, and stuff gets posted on the TikTok of her breaking, and the comments are terrible. And I save every single one of them. Not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I have every single comment, every single really inappropriate, like, go play with dolls. Why aren't you in the kitchen? Yep. It's like, you know, girls make the hobby not fun. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Not necessary.
I get stuff like that when I'm breaking too. Like,
yeah,
you to be in the kitchen, or like you have no place in the whatever. Like, but I saved one comment ever, which was like, you guys are horrible Democrats. I'm like, okay. I don't know why. I was like, okay.
You know, something that's more visible is if you look every time Panini posts something about WNBA Prism, just look at some of the comments under there as well. That's all I'll say. That product, by the way, is awesome.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I was looking forward to that. Like, Dave and I saw that it was coming out and it got pushed back, and I'm like, yo, WNBA Prism. We were sitting here, Sabrina Ionescu,
We were
you know,
naming
Candace Parker. We were like, come on. So
Candace Parker is a PC of mine, but Ryan Howard, who should be a rookie in this year's Prism, is just playing unbelievably this season. So,
well, you know what?
That's the one to collect.
I feel like we need to organize a break somehow and do some WNBA Prism with you guys. I think that'd be fun.
Sure.
I'm just putting it out there now.
And Julie, you were with Sarah when you guys broke the.
We did.
The case break of the WNBA. That was so fun.
In our group, that was fun.
Sarah's breaking debut was
debut.
Awesome. We did a group break in our group. It was really a good time. Random teams. That was great.
So we only got a few minutes left.
WNBA games.
So we've only got a few minutes left. So we just want to get to a couple quick questions and to kind of wrap it up here. But obviously, we really appreciate the time. So, David, what was the next one you had?
Yeah, so, you know, what lies ahead for you guys? You know, do you guys have plans for national? What really lies ahead for women in the hobby?
Sarah, you do it.
Women in the hobby has a booth this year at the National. You will find us in the Breaker Pavilion. I don't remember our booth number, but
520,
we will be
right
there.
Across from Whatnot.
5020?
5020. 5020. Thank you.
5020.
Not 520.
We have
across from Whatnot.
Right. We'll be across from Whatnot. It's a Women in the Hobby booth. We do have a session on the main stage. At our booth, we will have at least one, maybe two athletes there doing some signings. We're going to have a couple of pack wars for kids. We're going to have a hobby hunt for kids, all run by women who are in this industry, in this hobby, and want to give back to everybody. Besides having things happening at night, there's a cocktail hour that's happening. There's going to be an event at trade night that's happening. We're going to be everywhere.
Great. That's what I want to hear.
That's
All over. That's what we want to hear. So remember, booth 5020 across from Whatnot. Make sure you're checking that out.
Yep.
And last but not least, where can we find you guys on social media?
So for the Women in the Hobby Facebook group it's for women only, and it's called Women in the Hobby. The logo is behind Ty and Julie, and just fill out, just a couple questions, just nothing hard to get into the group. We have on Instagram at Women in the Hobby. We have a website, www.womeninthehobby.com. And is that
Where
it?
there's currently nothing, so don't go there, but there will
We'll
be
get there.
something.
Yeah.
We'll
Yes.
have all the national information for all the stuff that's going on up like later in the week. So
Great.
Yep.
Great. Amazing.
maybe I'll put it up now. So when this actually is on,
Yeah, put
it'll
it
be
up.
I still have time.
All right.
And
Yeah.
I encourage everyone to stop by the booth, come say hi. Don't be shy.
Well, David and I will.
Yes.
Is that okay?
We definitely will.
Are we allowed?
That's okay. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
You can stop by, and if you really want, we do have some time scheduling if you guys wanted to do like a little interview or something from our booth.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we'll.
Right?
I'll definitely be talking to Julie. We'll definitely be in chat, for sure. We'll be in communication. But I want to thank you guys so much for being on with us, and can't wait to see you guys at the National.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Only Julie's going.
Only Julie's going.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll see Julie at the National. We'll have some sodas and we'll have some fun.
He's holding down the fort for us.
She
am.
is womaning the booth, as you said earlier.
I am.
Oh wow!
That's right.
Way to
That's
call!
right.
Great callback.
Oh yeah, I try to be the king of callbacks here. But thank you
go.
guys so much. We really appreciate
Callbacks.
it.
Great nickname.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
guys.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye guys. Thanks. We talked about Whatnot's booth earlier today. They're having that massive booth with Rip and Wax. 5020 Women in the Hobby right across from Whatnot. Make sure you're checking them out.
Check it out.
Because we sure are.
We will be there.
All right.
We'll be checking everybody out.
We're gonna be checking out. Don't you worry. You're right. You guys better look out for us. We're gonna be all around the
dynamic
floor.
duo here.
Meerkat's gonna be following us around too. Well, not following us around. He'll be with us. I don't want to make it sound like he's following us around.
Yes.
Wednesday is a big new release day, as everybody knows. So let's see what's hitting the shelves today. We're gonna remind you guys. We talked about this on Monday. First up, 2022 Panini Chronicles Football. 2 autos per box, 1 memorabilia, 4 numbered parallels. Be sure to collect the Prism black cards. I thought there was black gold. I think there's black gold, and there might be Mojo too. I don't know, or just the Prism blacks. Just the Prism blacks in that one. And then new to Chronicles this year are the Magnitude inserts. So obviously you see 2 plates and patches will be in there. I believe, what else? I think if you go back go back to that. Yeah, there you go. You can see 2. There's the Prism blacks. There's an example.
J
of
Fields.
J Fields too. So look out for that. Next up is the 2022 Topps Archive Signature Series Retired Player Edition. If you haven't seen Signature Series before, this is how it goes. 1 encased, hand-signed, buyback autograph per box. Topps says it'll be foil stamped and serial numbered, and that's it. And you can take a look on the screen right there. Ken Griffey Jr., a Dave Winfield right there, and then Reggie right in the middle. So you can see that's just an idea of some of the names you'll get. I don't know what's like a deep cut retired player you'd probably want in that product. I haven't looked at the checklist yet, so who would you want?
Man, that's a tough one. Big Jim Tomey guy. I think I would go Jim Tomey.
I like that.
Just as for like if you're talking PC and not wanting to resell PC, I'd probably go Jim Tomey. Yeah, probably Jim
I know.
Tomey.
I put you on the spot there. That's my bad.
It's all good.
If I go just off the top of the dome, Chuck Knobloch and Marquise Grissom.
There you go. Kenny Lofton.
I love
Kenny
Kenny Lofton, man.
Oh,
I
okay.
love Kenny Lofton. That's a great answer. Last but not least, 2022 Topps Pristine Baseball. 2 on-card autos, 1 auto relic per box, 10 base refractors, 5 insert cards, and you'll get 1 refractor per pack. So that is a perfect segue in today's box rip giveaway. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hit it. The Topps Pristine 2022. I'm going to read you off the box notes here so everybody's on the same page. 6 tri-packs per box. The outer pack contains an encased autograph or encased pristine refractor and a middle pack. The middle pack will contain 2 base card refractors or 1 autograph relic plus an inner pack. And then in the inner pack, there will be 7 cards. It's like Packception. Pristine Packception. So there you have it. Just a nice little look at the box there. A little cough for you. So we are ready to rip. The packaging is sweet. I do agree with you there. So excited for this Topps too. And to enter the giveaway, you are either chatting in the Twitch or commenting on YouTube. We want to know, who is your favorite baseball player to collect right now and why? So who are you aiming for your PC and why? Do you have a sentimental value or just, your favorite player, or are you just chasing after the resale value? Either way, let us know who your favorite player is in the YouTube comments or the Twitch chat and why you're collecting them right now. So,
I think I know what time it is.
I think I do too. Meerkat, dear. Oh, my cutter. Yeah, give it up for Meerkat, everybody. There we go. Hey, CLB Cards. What's going on, guys? First time watcher here. First time, long time. Welcome to the chase. Thanks for joining us. Glad you're waking up with us and chatting sports cards and everything in between, really. So here we go. Why don't we go to the top camera? There it is. You can see my notes as always. Always exposing myself here.
Troy,
All
as
right.
you're ripping, I have a random question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have internet on your laptop? I don't.
Oh, yeah. I got the Wi-Fi right now.
I have nothing. I'm trying to look at.
You're having a Wi-Fi outage?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the Twitch stream and I got nothing.
Really?
Exactly, Stevens.
Oh. You know what? Where's my pen? Chalk that up. Things you hate to see. Things you hate to see. Writing that down. That
Hell.
he does not have internet. But you know what we do have? Ooh, ooh. We got this. Let's get her going. Wow, look at this. I like the presentation so far. We got 1, 2, 3. Okay, David. Top or bottom?
I hate these decisions.
What are you?
Top.
There you go. Careful with those. Those are encased. I'll take the... Can you switch back to the top camera? There we go. I'll take the bottom 3. This is kind of a nice box. I'm not going to toss it like I usually do. All right. Let's get going. These packs... Sheesh. These packs are fire, and we haven't even opened it yet. That's what Charm's saying here.
I'm back on.
Very interesting product. Jay Hendry says packaging is weird. I kind of like it though. Now how? Oh. Okay, so the encase is on the bottom. I like the S'more. I definitely like the packaging. Power. They are thick. They are thick. I will say that. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. There's the inner pack. I'm gonna leave that inside, and we'll reveal that last. Because I think that's where the auto is going to be. All right, here we go. They look thick. This is literally... I'm not even kidding you. Look at this thing. This is Packception. This is so... I kind of love it, though. Look at it. It's a pack inside of a pack inside of a pack.
That's inside of a pack?
That's inside of a pack. Here are these cards. Yeah, it's like pack inside of a pack inside of a pack. Here we go with these, though. Hideki Matsui.
The GOAT.
Harmon Killebrew. Ooh. There you go. I think those are the refractors. No numbering that I saw. Pack in a pack in a pack in a pack. We got packs on packs on packs. Kind of like racks on racks on racks, but not really. I know, right? Exactly. So many chances to get good hits. Also, so many chances to damage the cards. That's why we're going to go nice and easy. Okay.
Oh, the man.
There we go. Willie Stargell. Ooh. Rookie of Newt Bar.
Newt Bar. Sounds
Newt
like a
Bar.
candy bar.
That is Castro for the Pirates. Do you have any scouting on him?
He's young. Young, and he's doing okay.
He is a rookie, so that's a good call. All right, there we go. There is that, and now let's reveal who's in here. We've got Cody Bellinger.
Nice.
Cody Bellinger refractor.
All right.
All right. David's up. These are interesting, though.
Drop them real quick.
CLB says, nice looking cards. Sensei Yoda says, this is awesome. It looks like those Russian dolls. In a way, it kind of does. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the vintage players too, Lee. I like when they throw those guys in there. You got to have a good mix of past, present, and future.
All right. Just got a pack here.
Hobo Fuzz, starting the morning with a nutritious Newt Bar. No better way. That's what gets you going.
These are hard to open.
I know, right? It's
I
odd.
forgot the pack inside of a pack.
It's a pack inside of the pack inside of the pack.
Yes. Okay, so.
We're dig in. We're eating right now. We eating.
Okay, here we go. Oh, a little refractor, Fernando Tatis Jr. And there's a drive to left. It will be a home run. Nick Castellanos.
My dog just died yesterday, and there's a deep drive to left.
All right, let's go inside the pack that's inside the pack.
Packception. They should call. Does anybody have a product yet called Packception? I think they should. I think it should have been this. Pristine should have been Packception.
All right, Eloy Jimenez. Andy Pettit on the Astros.
Ooh.
Cool. Jake Cousins rookie. The Western New York boy, Jesse Winker.
Nice. Is this still in a Reds uni?
Actually, it's like an all-star. Yeah, it's all-star Cincy jersey.
Nice.
Bo Bichette.
Blow
My man, Jazz Chisholm. And Japan, Pristine Borders, Ichiro. Not bad.
Love that. I like that with the... Yeah, that's nice with the flag there. That's cool.
And then, obviously, for the encased, let's see what we got here. A little Javi Baez Mets action.
Nice. There you
Not
go. So
bad.
still looking for... So there should be 3 hits. We should have 2 autos and an auto relic.
Yep.
Twizzle Bizzle says, kind of reminds me of the old SP cards from back in the day. Maybe that is where they are drawing inspiration for these, if you will. Okay, make sure everything's on screen there. Okay, let's see what we got in this pack now. Put the refractor card in that pack there. I'm going to pull this over here, pull this there. I like to organize a little bit, as you can see. Okay. All right. I love... Dude, Ichiro is one of my favorites of all time, honest to goodness. For real, for real. He was just for the Mariners too. He was just electric. Dude has a cannon, and just watching him at the plate was unbelievable. All right, thick card in the back there. Let's see. Fergie Jenkins.
Ferg.
Oh, here we go. Jersey card. Ooh,
Keston Hira.
Keston Hira jersey auto. I thought it was just gonna be a jersey card there.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your relic auto for the box, Keston Hira. Let me get this in a safe spot here. Should fit in 100 point if my eyes are correct.
I agree. Charm sport card. Sneaky auto.
Very sneaky, sir. You underestimated my sneakiness. Okay. Yeah, I like the look of the card for sure. Okay, Jay Henry says, calling it encased auto next. So that might be in David's package then.
We'll see. We'll see.
There we go. Okay. What are we going to see in here? We're going to see Marquez, Fergie Jenkins again, Trevor Rogers, Willie Mays Hayes, Frankie,
Sadness.
Brian Reynolds, and then I've got one here, Rod Carew.
Not bad.
Very nice. Panama. Bah, 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 nah. And then what is our encase card? Who would it be? Shohei? No, who's... Ooh! David's boy.
on, man.
The gold, Jose Ramirez.
Dave, you want to go to my camera real quick?
That's going to be 19 of 50. Go to David. Spain.
I'm literally wearing the shirt.
What do you want me to do? It's not my fault.
I always pick the wrong packs. That's why.
I gave you the choice. I was going to say, you can't blame that one on me. Why don't we flip it back to me real quick? Just want to show that off. Gold Jose Ramirez on card, too. 19 of 50. So there you go. Nice.
Congratulations.
Hollywood Troy Danger is in the house. Oh, yeah, brother. Hobo Fuss says, Troy over here trying to claim all the ink in the box. I think that means he's going to get the last auto, though, honestly. Higgy Bear should have been the bottom.
Thanks, Iggy Bear. Wonder who that may be.
Well, don't out him like that. Come on now. He's got to...
You know, I'm just using my investigative skills here.
Investigative journalism.
Here we go. Matt Olson with the A's. And then this one, a little gold action. Michael Conforto.
Might be numbered on the back there.
42 out of 50.
Sick. So the gold cards look like they're out of 50.
Yep.
Is what I'm seeing based on the auto and the Conforto.
Now the pack inside the pack.
Darth Yoda, the code is today. Tell us your favorite player in baseball to collect now and why. Since we're opening up a baseball product.
Your boy Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah.
Cedric Mullins. Freddie Freeman. Jonathan India. Really love that guy after last night. Juan Soto.
I do.
Aaron Nola. And Pure Power. Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Vladdy Daddy.
Nice. Oh, and, of course, last but not least, the encased. Oh, you know, just a beautiful Jake Cousins rookie card.
Okay. Is that a little gold action?
33 out of 50, yes. A
Nice.
little bit of gold. So 33 out of 50. Not bad.
By the way,
It's not a Jose Ramirez auto, but, you know.
By the way, I can't go on without saying that Jay Hendry called it. He said encased auto coming up next, and then I pulled it.
I'm telling you, Jay Henry knows his stuff.
SQ Cat says Derek Jeter because he's the GOAT. All right. So Jay Henry, what do we got next? You called the encased auto.
Just say bases.
Wahoo's says first time chatter. SQ Cat. So Square Cat has a sharp mind. All right. Putting the encased there. Little pack section. It's Sellers said, love collecting Nolan Ryan growing up since he was my hometown team star. Him and Pudge were my favorite past Rangers cards. Love Pudge. I was actually debating on getting a Pudge Texas Rangers jersey. Howard loves Nolan Ryan as well. So does Mike D. All right, there we go. TJ Frield, rookie. And Alex Rodriguez in a Rangers jersey.
Interesting.
Wow, Pristine's really pulling out the deep cuts. Okay. What do we got in here? Okay. George Brett. Do you know Sammy Sosa? Sixto Sanchez, Verlander, Matt Olson with the A's. There's a Jeter card right there. Speak of the devil. And then we've got Pristine Borders Yu Darvish, which I saw a video of his 12-year-old son working in the Padres bullpen. Kid looks like he's throwing gas. Like, probably could throw harder than me, let's be honest.
Big thing. And the encased.
Jay Hendry says he's going out on top. He's retiring 101 for guesses. Yeah, those border cards are nice.
Maybe it's a hint. It's going to be a 1 of 1.
Oh, you're going to hate me.
Just show it.
I pulled the other auto. Yanni Hernandez, rookie auto for the Rangers. There you go. So, that's an interesting note, though. No hits were in the top. All of them were in the bottom. So if you guys are buying boxes of this on dacardworld.com, take a look at that.
Or just don't have me break them.
Oh, stop it. Jay Hendry said, sorry, David. He feels bad.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Just add it again. Out for a rip. Pack inside the pack. That's in a pack. That's in a pack.
And the pack's okay. So Hobo Fuzz. This may be the jinx. Hobo Fuzz thinks we should let you open the box next time. Like you actually physically crack the box.
Yeah, it'll be all bases. All right.
Have a little more faith in yourself, man.
Liam Hendricks and Buster Posey. Recently retired Buster Posey.
Oh,
Dad.
Missed that guy. I agree, Hobo. I'm going to let him open the box next time. I think we're on to something. I think you're on to something. Got to give him a chance here.
JD Martinez. Colton Welker rookie card. Jaron Duran rookie card. Not a bad one right there. Joe Morgan. Blake Snell. Jose Barrios. And another. Javi Baez. Pure power. And, of course, I didn't forget.
Come on, extra auto here?
Okay, your boy, David Ortiz.
Blue. What's the blue out of?
16 out of 75.
Okay. Big Poppy is my boy.
Big Poppy.
I will
last pack magic a little bit.
There you go. A little bit of last pack magic. That's all we need here on the chase. Don't mind me. Just going to sleeve a couple more cards. But as I'm sleeving, why don't I get into the next topic here? So, as you may or may not know, the NBA Summer League is going on, and it is heading into its final days. I believe it's going to end on what's today, the 13th?
Today is the 13th.
Yeah, so I believe it ends on Friday. So David's been taking a look at some of the guys, and we were just going to kind of update you on how the Summer League is coming along. For that, we're going to get David and Meerkat into the conversation. So what have you seen so far?
So I think that some of the big talk of Summer League has been the reappearance of James Wiseman. James Wiseman, as many people know, he was out the entire year last year for the Warriors, and now he's come back in the Summer League. He's playing like about 20 minutes a game, and in his first game back, he had a great alley-oop lob from Kaminga. That was basically like one of the first buckets of the game. He had 11 points, 2 rebounds, 7 fouls in 19 minutes. I don't know the Summer League rules, how many fouls you get in a Summer League game. But, yes, thank you, Darth Yoda. I appreciate it. My mic's in my ear wasn't that loud either. But then he also played last night, had 6 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. When you look at his cards, he's actually still, holding his weight when it comes to autos. Found a National Treasures card right here that with his autos out of 10 in gold, $925. And then there was another one, Panini Donruss rookie signed, and that was $247.50. So, Meerkat, what do you feel about James Wiseman? Do you think he can still make an impact for this Warriors team that just won an NBA title?
I was massive on James Wiseman coming out, a guy I kind of invested in right off the bat. Obviously, injuries, other things have derailed the start of his career, but seeing him perform in the Summer League has been encouraging. What's also really encouraging, you brought up his teammate Jonathan Kaminga, the 7th overall pick in last year's NBA draft to the Warriors. I loved Kaminga coming out. He was shooting in very limited minutes, over 50% as a rookie last year. This year in the Summer League, just dropped 28 points, shooting efficiently. I think this guy has superstar NBA potential. It's a shame he's on the Warriors and, doesn't get the playing time he kind of deserves, because this is a guy I think you can give 30 minutes in the NBA and have him be your leading scorer.
Yeah, and I agree. It seemed like anytime, Kaminga played last year, he was making the most of his minutes, which were very limited, like you said. Also, you got to look at the top 3 picks. Paulo Banchero already been shut down by the Magic. The Magic said they've seen enough. Banchero was averaging 20 points a game in the 2 games that he played, 5 rebounds and 6 assists per game, living up to the number 1 hype so far of the Summer League. And obviously probably a good move by the Magic, not wanting to risk an injury.
Protecting their investment right there.
Yeah, 100%. It's a smart move by the Magic, franchise that has made some not smart moves the past decade or so. Keep your guys safe there. And we're talking lottery picks, top guys. Chet Holmgren obviously had the incredible debut. Second game had some fits from our boy Kenneth Lofton Jr. We love seeing the big boys out there on the court eating in the summer league.
Yes.
But still, Chet said he was going to be a 50, 40, 90 player in the NBA. He's shooting 50, 41, 90 right now in the summer league. He looks legit. Obviously, you need to fill out. He's been bullied in the paint. He's a bit thin, but the playmaking is there. The IQ is there, and just the dog in him. That Chet Holmgren's got some dog in him.
Yes.
Like Zach Wilson?
Like Zach Wilson.
It always goes back to Zach Wilson. But yeah, Meerkat, no, I agree with you. I think he's had a pretty good summer league so far. I just get worried. He's getting pushed around by Kenneth Lofton Jr. What's going to happen when Giannis drives into the paint or LeBron drives into the paint? What's going to happen then? That's my biggest worry. I think one guy that you've heard a little bit about, but not a lot about is Jabari Smith Jr. So far, he's just 13.7 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 33% from 3. He's Houston's number 3 pick. He was projected the number 1 pick at one point. Not sure what to really expect from him.
Yeah, you just gotta play it by ear with someone like that, because there's a reason he wasn't taken number 1, but he's looked good in the summer league. Houston has guys who could put the ball in the basket, and a lot of them young guys. So it's gonna be interesting to see how things get distributed there. And then one more summer league highlight I wanted to put the spotlight on, a team I don't like very much so in the Utah Jazz. Has 2 guys in the summer league I'm rooting for right now. One is Taco Fall, who took the hobby by storm when he was drafted, 7'6", drafted by the Celtics.
Yes.
A guy who did just not play that much at all. No reason to be valued where he was at. It was more of a meme like Bull, where his cards were exploding in value. It was crazy. It's good to see him now in the Jazz getting opportunity to play. He's coming off a 12-point, 15 rebound, 3 block game for the Jazz there in the summer league. And his teammate Johnny Juzang, who a lot of people will remember from UCLA, absolutely carrying that team in the NCAA the past few years. Super exciting guy to watch. Goes undrafted, gets injured in a car accident, comes in, bit of a rough first game, but that last game he had, he went 3 for 3 from 3. He looked like the stone cold shooter he is. That's a guy super exciting in college. You want to see make it in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. And before I go on to my last player that I wanted to talk about just a little bit, I didn't realize the Boeheim brothers are playing for the Pistons. I knew Buddy was playing for the Pistons in the summer league. He just had 18 points, I believe, last night. But his brother Jimmy is also playing in the summer league, which, as a Syracuse guy, I found it very interesting. Yeah. Also, another Syracuse guy to throw out, Cole Swider, playing for the Lakers right now in summer league.
That's right.
But my last guy I want to mention that I think is going to be really under the radar is Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray got drafted 4th to the Kings. I've seen a few of his highlights. He's been hitting some big threes for the Kings in this summer league. Definitely a name to look out for.
Yeah, and before we move on, I just want to kind of bring it back around to the beginning of the segment that, James Wiseman, interesting to me that it seems like did not play the whole year, going to come back this year, and his cards, especially the high-end ones there, like you saw, still seem to hold value. Like he is holding his value. He has not gone down. So it seems like people are very much investing in him, believing in the hype that he can come out. And same with Kaminga. I mean, Meerkat, real quick, I just wondered, what have you seen out of Kaminga's cards in terms of the hobby and what he possibly could do in the next season or two?
They're decent. They're kind of where they should be right now, just based of what we've seen in the situation he is. Like I said, he's an all-star talent. This guy can be a prolific NBA scorer, but he's not going to be stepping in that role anytime soon for the Warriors. It's still Steph, it's still Clay, it's still Wiggins, it's still Poole above him. All these guys. It's just tough right now. He has value based off his talent. It's just, will he get the opportunity anytime soon to display that talent to the fullest? He is a guy I am 100% investing in now. I feel like we're at the floor of his career when it comes to the hobby. If he gets 20 minutes a game this year, he's going to start becoming a household name. Maybe he gets moved. Maybe he gets that, role he deserves. But I'd say he's 100% an investment. He's a bit undervalued, even though he's right on where he should be.
And do you think that James Wiseman is holding the value where he should be? Do you think that's the correct thing? A national treasures out of 10 going for $900. Does that make sense in your mind?
It does, just because the injury and situation, just like Kaminga there. It's, will Wiseman be getting the minutes he wants? Will he be getting... He's going to probably get the minutes if he's healthy. It's a tough injury to come back from. He's looked good in the summer league, so you got to hope it stays true. But I don't think he's going to get the shots. There's too many mouths to feed there in Golden State. That's what makes it tough. That's why these guys, I feel like, are undervalued, even though it makes sense where they're sitting at right now. Still both feel like they're kind of at their floor. Yeah.
Going to be interesting to see in the regular season that'll be coming up in the fall, obviously, but getting a little taste now of these guys. And I think Chet Holmgren and Pablo Banchero, definitely two guys to be looking out for in the hobby-wise coming up.
Mm-hmm. And not to, stress on it more, but I like what Meerkat said is, like, who knows if even these guys like Kaminga and Wiseman will be on the Warriors.
Yeah.
There's, they have, like, the Warriors have themselves set up good where they have the young guys that they could possibly trade for a big asset. So you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially James Wiseman, like he said, if he can stay healthy and he puts up the numbers, I'm sure he could be possibly a superstar somewhere else, or at least a very big role player.
Right.
So now we're going to go to the Diamond. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. David and I have. But the MLB All-Stars, they have been announced.
Yes, they sure have been.
Yeah, so we took a look at the rosters. I took the American League. You took the National League. And just a few guys we wanted to kind of highlight that are on this year's roster in terms of the hobby and just, who we like to collect or who we like to see in general. So who's someone you want to throw out there?
So I want to do just a little comparison just to start off.
Sure.
I looked at the pitchers. I don't think the pitchers really get realized when it comes to the All-Star game, but I want to look at Sandy Alcantara of the Miami Marlins. It's his second All-Star game selection. As you see, his rookie right there. That first Bowman right there is actually chrome green auto out of 99, $205 it sold for. And then also Tony Gonsolin of the LA Dodgers. It's his first All-Star game selection. That one right there, Topps Inception, the rookie auto orange out of 50, that sold for $80 right there. So Gonsolin's value is very low. But here, let me run you through some stats real quick. The two are very deserving candidates to start for the NL in this game. You look at Gonsolin. Currently, he pitches tonight, but he's 11-0. 11-0. That is tough to accomplish in the MLB. 1.62 ERA, 80 strikeouts, and 16 earned runs given up in 16 starts. That's one per game. Do the math. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in a start all season. All the wins, and he's gone 7+ innings, only twice. So that means he's only thrown, 5-6 innings, and then 7 innings or plus twice. Alcantara, I think, is a great story. Because I believe he is one of the most dominant pitchers in the game, and he is just stuck in a very poor situation in Miami. I think Miami has young players to turn it around. But you look at Alcantara, he's 9-3, 1.73 ERA, 111 Ks. That's 31 more than Gonsolin, and just 25 earned runs given up in 18 starts. He's given up more than 2 earned runs in any start just twice. And in his 3 losses, the Marlins scored less than 3 runs, which is not a good offensive output. In July, Alcantara's 2-0 with 15 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. Just to show you what it's like in Miami for Alcantara, there was a game against Washington. He threw all 9 innings, struck out 6. He got a no decision because it was 0-0 going into the 10th inning, and they took him out. They ended up winning 2-1 in the 10th, but still, that's the stuff that Alcantra deals with as a pitcher on that kind of team. When you look at Gonsolin, he's given up 4.7 runs compared to Alcantra. Or I'm sorry, the Dodgers get him 4.7 runs per start compared to Alcantra. They only get him 3.8 per start. So when you look at those two dudes, it's very deserving for Gonsolin, and honestly, I think he will start because he more than likely will be undefeated, knock on wood, and the game's in L.A. But when you look at card values, too, Alcantra is actually higher than Gonsolin right now because Gonsolin's like their third starter on the Dodgers, and all his values are really low, even when you look at his rookie autos. So honestly, for a possible Cy Young candidate, it might be time to buy into Tony Gonsolin's stock.
Yeah, and I think you and I were talking about it a little bit yesterday as we were kind of looking and deciding what we wanted to do, that once again, we always talk, just like the defensive players in football, it doesn't seem like the pitchers get as much love in terms of the hobby value. Sure, I'm sure there's people there that'll PC these guys that just want them because that's their team or their player and they've been following their career. But I feel like in terms of if you're just buying a pack, you get an auto and you're trying to flip it, it's not going to be as much. But you truly believe in Gonsolin in terms of invest in him now, and you think, you know, maybe at the end of this year, if he does become the Cy Young, then maybe it'd be time to kind of let go of them.
Right. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about is, you know, you look at how low the values are now. I mean, that one card that we pulled up was like $80, which that's not a lot, really, in my opinion, for a guy that's currently 11-0 with an ERA under 2. And, you know, I agree with what Lee_C55 said in the chat. Sandy Alcantara is the Mike Trout of the NL. Like, it's a very good comparison when you think about it, because Sandy's putting up numbers just like Trout is, and he's just on a team that does not win. It's
the Marlins. I mean, to me, that is the MLB equivalent of the team where players go to die. I hate to say it, but I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know how, like, I love Soler, but Miami, I'm not paying attention to Soler now.
The Sacramento Kings of the MLB.
There you go. I like that. That's a cut. That's a good one. Couple guys I had in mind I thought were interesting. Just obviously I love Vladdy Daddy. You know, being here in Buffalo, New York, we hosted the Toronto Blue Jays for a little bit last summer. Now, here's something interesting that I want to put out. Vladdy, obviously one of the most highly collectible players right now in baseball, I would say. I mean, everybody's chasing after his stuff. A lot of people love his dad. A lot of people love him just for how he is on the field, but not only that, but at the plate as well. But that 2020 card that you saw there that was slabbed up in auto, it was only like 180, I think it was 180 something.
Wow.
So what I'm noticing
for a 9 too.
What I'm noticing with him, his Bowman stuff graded very high.
Yes.
We're talking thousands of dollars.
Yep.
You look at his rookie autos from 2019, you're looking at probably, I think I saw like $400 or $500. Then you look at these 2020 cards that I'm seeing. I'm looking at one right now, $100. And like 2020, this one is now granted, this is a Sterling relic auto, $200. So it seems like the money is very much in the rookie and the prospect cards with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But if you're just a fan and you really want his cards and you just want an auto, it seems like for a relatively good price, you can get his stuff in the 2020 and 2021 products and so on and so forth into this year.
Yeah. And that's what I've noticed about baseball is when it comes to, you know, rookies and the young cards, Bowmans that get slabbed up always seem to acquire the most currency, I guess you could say. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. And, you know, Lee here, Vlad cards do not get the love that they deserve. I agree with that. I mean, he's just such a fun player to watch. That sometimes I think that needs to go into account, though. You know, stats are great. Obviously, stats are the hard facts. They're the tangibles that you can look at and you can see. But I think just a player being entertaining overall and just fun to watch definitely, I think, has to go into a little bit of the factor of collectible wise, how they are in the card market.
I agree. And you know what? Going back to the Bowman, I think this is a perfect segue for my next player.
Yeah.
Ronald Cooney Jr., he was the leading vote getter for the National League All-Star team. It's his third All-Star selection already, which is crazy. He's coming back from the ACL tear, and he's really just been raking. He has a 274 average, 8 home runs, 22 RBIs in just 54 games so far. So that's notable, just 54 games. Atlanta's eased him back since obviously tearing the ACL. But I want to pull up this card right here of Acuna. So this is what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first Bowman Chrome green refractor, 99 out of 99, and obviously you see it's a 10. This one sold for $8,250. So obviously you see the Bowmans that, you know, when they get slabbed up, they're going for multiple thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, Bowman has always been it's funny because I think it took me a while to really appreciate Bowman for what it is, because baseball is so tough. We talk about it numerous times, how baseball is one of those sports you see these guys in the minors and it could take years and years and years for them to something to become of them. So it's tough because you get these guys in Bowman where they're highly touted right away. Who's the Reds prospect that everybody's looking for? De La Cruz?
Yeah.
Right? Him? Ellie De La Cruz. You know, he's one where his stuff is selling like crazy now, but, you know, what's going to come of him in the next few years? When is he going to make it to the bigs? Are we just banking on all his Bowman prospect cards? But, you know, obviously Acuna holding value in his Bowman, Vlad holding value in his Bowman as well. I mean, those are the true cards you want.
Yes.
You know, as much as you want to get the Topps Chrome and Sterling and Pristine, Bowman is where it's at for sure.
Yeah, and for you know, the most bucks, I guess you should say.
Doctor's Dollar Breaks. Hey, we mentioned you now. How about that? We got a lot of people. Chat's buzzing right now, by the way. Ted Stryker in here. Hi, boys. Hello. And I wanted to get something Lee said here. Same as Devers. That was my next guy.
Mm-hmm.
Devers. Something crazy that I guess I didn't realize. I was a little shocked when I saw it. His rookie stuff, unbelievable. The 2018 top stuff that I find of his is crazy value. I don't know, because I feel like Devers is someone, if you're a Red Sox player, if you're a Red Sox fan, you absolutely love the guy. You love watching him play. But I didn't know if he had such an appeal all around in the hobby. But his rookie stuff, though, I mean, a slabbed up, this is out of 25. Okay, that one there, you see the 2018 Topps Heritage, Gem Mint 10, Auto 10, Real Ones autograph. I mean, his stuff goes for crazy. The stuff I'm looking at here on eBay, this is a Transcendent one out of 25. I don't have a picture of it, but $449. There's another one. This one is a 10 out of 15. This is a Topps Chrome Blue Wave refractor. So obviously, bigger one here, right. $876. So I guess for me, for whatever reason, I just didn't realize the value is there for him, at least in the rookie stuff. Now here we got a Topps Archive signature here, an Allen and Ginter that he signed 2022, $200. So I mean, he's still definitely. It seems like he's climbing, but. Here's a 2018 Topps Gypsy Queen. This one is a raw card, $87. So he's very like, I don't know. I feel like I can't tell where he really falls, but it seems like his rookie stuff is highly collectible, and love to see him making the All-Star team. I mean, him and Vlad, I mean, that infield is going to be a fun infield to watch for sure.
Yeah, and it's been fun to see his development over the last few years, because I remember him coming up as a rookie, and he got off to a great start in Boston. And if you want to fall in love, you get off to a hot start in Boston. And Boston fans, like you have said, have just cherished him over the last few years, and he's become just a cornerstone player for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
My last player, National League, got to go to the catcher, because catcher doesn't get any love. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think catchers get a lot of love. Wilson Contreras of the Chicago Cubs. It's his third All-Star selection. Truthfully, he's one of the best hitting catchers in the game. He had back in the day, back when the Cubs made the World Series, he was playing a little bit of left, playing some first, was catching a little bit, DHing. Currently this year, he's batting .266, 13 home runs, 35 RBIs. Might not seem like a lot, but if you look at the hitting statistics in this day and age, you won't find many good average hitters other than, maybe Alejandro Kirk. See, I can't even...
Yeah, right.
Trevino's having a decent season. But if we pull up this card real quick, so there's his Bowman. Obviously, I like pulling up the Bowmans when I talk about these guys. It's the blue auto rookie, 74 out of 150. This sold for $99, which for Bowman and a guy like Wilson Contreras, who's made 3 All-Star games, he has a World Series title. Seems pretty cheap in my opinion, especially for a Bowman.
I would agree with that 100%.
But like I said, people want the sexy stats. They want the home runs. And, catchers don't always put up the biggest numbers when it comes to hitting. They want to be known for defense.
Sure.
But also, a fun part about this All-Star game that I want to point out before I go to Troy's last player. Him and his brother, William, are the 5th brother pair to start in the same All-Star game lineup. So, his brother, William Contreras, plays for the Braves. He was second in DH voting for the National League behind Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper had the hand injury, so step in William Contreras. William Contreras will be starting as the DH for the National League All-Star team. Dave, if you don't mind, can we pull up this cool card? I found this awesome. I didn't get a price on this because I didn't really care. I just thought it was awesome. Out of 25, the Contreras card. It's Wilson and William, both in their catcher's gear. And I don't know. I just think it's a cool looking card for both of the brothers. And it'll also be the first brother tandem to start in the All-Star game since Roberto Alomar and Sandy Alomar Jr. in 1992. As far as brothers just playing in the All-Star game, not starting, Brett and Aaron Boone were the most recent brothers to play in the All-Star game in 2003. They didn't start them.
Sure. Brett and Aaron Boone. I actually, when I think of Aaron Boone, I still, as a Red Sox fan, think of 2003 when he was on the Yankees. I don't like to think about it too much.
Last but not least.
Yeah, last player for me, not a starter, but someone that I think is having an amazing year. Byron Buxton.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like he's always been kind of flashy. He was definitely one in the Bowman products that people, when he was a prospect and was coming out, people were really looking for him. I remember him being pretty high on the list of who you wanted to get out of those products, but his value is he's dirt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a Topps tribute auto from this year though, $24. What else we got here? Now this one, here we go. This is what we're talking about again with Bowman. 2013 Bowman Chrome. This is a BGS 10, okay?
Mm-hmm.
$899 for a Bowman auto. So if you're into Byron Buxton, maybe look for some of the stuff from 2020, 2021, 2022.
Some newer stuff.
But I think he was one of those people who I know he's had some nagging injuries and he's struggled with injuries over the years, but obviously people loved him. He was really, really, he got off to a hot start and people thought he had a pretty big ceiling. So I feel like finally this year he's staying healthy and he's getting rewarded for it, obviously, with this All-Star bid. But someone who's another electric player, and if he can stay healthy, he's so fun to watch and can definitely help that team.
Yeah, absolutely. And being, a Guardians fan, every time he steps to the plate, every time he's in the outfield, he scares me. He's electric. Yeah. He can make plays in the field. He can hit for power. He can hit for contact. He's one of the quickest guys, if not the quickest in the MLB. So he's just electric every time he steps onto the field.
Yeah, so he's another one that if you are a collector of his, PC or not, his current stuff, really easy to catch on eBay for a really, really good price. But if you have his Bowman stuff just sitting around, I would suggest trying to get it graded and put it up if you want, because what I'm seeing, that's the way to go about it.
I completely agree with you, Troy. I mean, he's just an electric player. When he's healthy, he's in my opinion, the best player on that Twins team and one of the best players in the American League.
And then real quick, we just want to do a little run through. Obviously, NHL free agency opens up today, so I'm sure we'll have more on it Friday for you, the frenzy that could possibly be going on. Just a couple things wanted to note. Rickard Rakell getting a 6-year deal with the Penguins. Now, I thought this was interesting. Rakell, his card's dirt cheap. And if you look, I looked at his hockey reference page.
His stats aren't overwhelming.
His stats are not overwhelming.
Yeah. And
now, he only played 19 games for the Penguins last year because I believe that he was dealt at the deadline. But he had 13 points in like 19 games. So I don't know if this could be a little bit of I don't want to call it a career resurgence for him, but maybe he can become a little more consistent and contribute more to this team. And I looked at this move as, we had heard that Malkin was going to hit free agency.
Right.
Obviously, coming into this morning, we know that's a different story.
Right.
But I didn't know if that was a move where the Penguins were like, okay, well, if we're going to lose Malkin, let's lock this guy up and, hopefully we can keep him in the top 6 there.
Right. And, he only played 2 of the playoff games, too. That Rangers-Penguins series went into 7 games. He only played Game 1 and Game 7. Obviously, Game 7, Penguins get ousted. But I talked to one of my friends who is a Penguin fan, and he said he could be a solid top 6 forward.
Yeah.
And he could easily eclipse the 0.5 points per game, in his opinion. The only thing with that is he's been injured and he's just got to stay healthy. He said if Rakell's full season stat pace is as follows: 25 goals, 30 assists, 55 points, which when you think of it with a team with guys like Letang, Malkin, Crosby, Rust, those are good numbers because guys like Crosby are going to put up big numbers for him, and they just need this guy to fill a role on another line and just basically just take up space, I guess you could almost say, just fill a role.
Yeah, because on the Ducks, I think it was a little bit of a different scenario for him. Getzlaf was still there, but Corey Perry leaving town, quite a few other players leaving town there. I feel like he needed to produce a little more there, and he had some glimpses. There were some seasons where the games that he actually did play, obviously producing, no problem, but now with Zegras there, Drysdale, seems like he might have been the odd man out, and they were just trying to get what they could for him at that time, and the Penguins seem to see something in him, so it'll be interesting going into the next season where he does fit, like you said, with Malkin returning instead of testing free agency.
Yeah, and, Pittsburgh's usually decent at, assessing player talent, evaluating their players, so, hey, they've been good for a while, so you got to trust it.
Yeah. And another person I want to get to here, I think this one was very, very well deserved. Nichushkin re-signing with the Avs. That one was also long-term. This looks like an 8-year deal worth about $49 million is what the sources are saying. But after the playoffs that he just had for the Avs in that cup run, I think this is incredibly deserved. I mean, I think I think the Avs loved what he did in the playoffs. He's a great piece of this team, and I'm assuming they're going to try, I know money talks and things happen, but I feel like they're going to try to keep at least most of these guys in an effort to obviously repeat because that's every team's goal. But Nichushkin, I definitely think very much deserved this extension.
Yeah, and when you look at that Colorado team, Nichushkin literally could be enhanced into a bigger role depending on what happens with Nazem Kadri.
Yeah.
Nazem Kadri might get a big contract somewhere else, leave Colorado, and it could set himself up for a bigger role in Colorado. And, I mean, when you look at his stats from last year, he had 52 points, which it's kind of similar to what we were just talking about with Rakell. They just want this guy to come in, fill a role. If he scores, great. If he gets assists, great. Just fill a role that, it takes a little bit of burden off the guys like Makar and McKinnon and those guys. Landeskog, just to name another. And I really think both of these guys are good, solid signs for both teams.
Yeah, 100%. I would agree with that. Val definitely can take he can play. He's a player and can definitely
look what he did during the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, his stats were unbelievable during those playoffs. I remember us obviously during the Cup Finals talking about him quite a bit. He always seemed to come up on the score sheet. So looking forward to see what he could do in the years going forward in Colorado.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. Jersey John is next in the DACW Live Lounge, and Pete will be on later tonight. Continue to like, subscribe, follow, and comment across the the DA Card World platforms. Listen to us on Spotify and Apple if you didn't get a chance to watch us live on Twitch. The replay will also be on YouTube. And make sure you're checking out all the wonderful things we have on dacardworld.com, the Topps Pristine that we ripped today, and, of course, everything else we mentioned that is hitting shelves today.
Just to reiterate, what do they need to comment?
Yes, to win the Topps Pristine box that we open, comment on YouTube or in the Twitch chat who your favorite baseball player is to collect right now and why.
You heard it here first.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, only one thing left to do. Just remember, it's all about the chase. See you guys on Friday. Top guys.